Haribo to all my brothers and my sisters, and welcome back to Astral Motivation. Today we're going to be talking about the full moon that is going to be happening on February 24th, 2024. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to Astral Motivation. My name is Vinodini Dasi. I am a Vedic astrologer and Dharma teacher. So if you are into any of the ancient knowledge of the Vedas and a researcher and a seeker, then definitely make sure to follow and hit the notification bell so that you never miss any of the nectar. Alrighty guys, so let's talk about what this upcoming full moon is going to bring for all of us. All right, so guys, just so you know, I'm currently out on vacation, and that's the reason why I don't have my studio with me right now, but we need to always bring you your upcoming Vedic astrological forecasts so that you guys are able to align with the powerful luminaries that are going to be happening this month. So first and foremost, what is a full moon? Full moons are times of closure, times of endings, times of really culminating something to its fullest and being able to close the cycle and allow for a new cycle to come into our lives. When there's a full moon, we always need to have the opposite sun. So the moon is going to be in Leo for Vedic astrological placements for this full moon. So the sun is going to be opposite of it in the sign of Aquarius. So this definitely is a time of a lot of closures and endings. And when it comes to the specific full moon, it's a closure and an ending when it comes to the magnitude of who we are. And I'm going to get deeper into all of that. Nonetheless, allow this full moon to be a time for you to be grateful, a time for you to look back into how far you have come into your journey, a time for you not to judge yourself or judge how things have come out. This is a time for you to really allow yourself to give a pat in the back and say, okay, I've come this far and I've learned this much, and just give yourself some grace and some gratitude. This is a wonderful way for us to really bring and culminate the energy of the full moon, because it's really allowing for us to close a cycle and to also look back and see how wonderful this past cycle has been and everything that we have learned. Even if we progressed a little bit, we are always moving forward and progressing in the things that we want to create in our lives. So this full moon is about coming together. It's about closing the cycle. It's about letting things come to an end, letting things come to a closing time, or allowing things to get to a new level. You have come this far, and now you are ready for a new cycle, a new level to come into your life. Now, this full moon, as I mentioned, is going to be happening in the sign of Leo for sidereal placements, for Vedic astrological placements. And Leo is a very powerful sign. Leo is the sign where we really shine bright. It actually is ruled by the sun, and it has very powerful energy because it's the energy of the kingdom, the energy of us being our own king, the energy of magnitude in our lives, the energy that makes us shine, the energy that makes us feel special. Interestingly enough, Leo energy is that energy where it's a solar plexus, and it allows us for us to really shine bright. But Leo, the downfall of Leo is that sometimes it can go into pride and arrogance. So Leo really shines at his best when we bring humility into a situation, understanding into a situation, and when we bring responsibility to any situation. So when we have this attitude, Leo can really shine at his brightest. But the downfall, as I mentioned, is pride, is arrogance, is this self-centeredness. And that's the reason why we have the sun in Aquarius. Aquarius giving the energy of detachment, the energy of friendship, the energy of sovereignty. It is what brings balance to this energy of Leo. Leo is about the kingdom, and it's about the hierarchy, and Aquarius is about the equality, and it's about friendship. Leo is about romance and creative pursuits, and Aquarius is about friendship and that we can all be equal. It's the one that really respects and has great tolerance for the humans around them, for the humanity around them. While the Leo energy can be more like a king, seeing others as less than the king, the hierarchy. So this brings a nice balance because it's really trying to bring us, yes, you can shine. Yes, you are special. Yes, you are creative, and this is the way you express yourself, and this is the way you allow yourself to shine. but bring the balance of the detachment, bring the balance of understanding that there's a timing to things. It's more about the detachment. It's about this passion and detachment. When we become very passionate about something, pride and lust can easily come through. And with the detachment, we can easily respect things to be what they want to be. So that's why Aquarius is such a powerful humanitarian energy. However, with this full moon, it is bringing a balance into ourselves with this. Yes, be special. Yes, be grand and shine your light. But at the same time, others have this specialness as well. Others can also shine. Others are just as special as who you are. So it's a very, very humbling energy and a very empowering and passionate energy at the same time. So let's look a little bit deeper into the chart so that we're able to understand a little bit more of what this very powerful full moon is bringing for all of us. So first and foremost, as you can see here in the chart, we have Sun, Mercury, and Saturn involved in this very powerful moon. So this full moon is happening in this sign of Leo, and we have Saturn and Sun and Mercury. The Sun here is definitely burning. We have this energy of combustion with the Saturn and the Mercury. So this could be a time where we are thinking too much. We are trying to, think of what is the right thing to do, how we should do this. We're trying to organize ourselves, but it could be a little hard because our minds are kind of all over the place. So I want you guys to give yourself some grace. There is something of a heavy energy. There is something of this sort of like, have you been responsible in your creative fields? Like, have you been responsible in shining your light? Because we do have the Saturn and the Sun coming together. This can make you feel like there's been this constriction inside of you and you haven't been able to truly allow yourself to shine as much as you wish you can shine. There's been this constrictive energy. There's been this sort of, this could be some authority figure. This could be a real person in your life that is causing this to you, or it could really be just yourself as well. So there's some sort of responsibility, some heavy energy that is making you feel like I can't shine in the best ways that I can possibly shine. But something is asking for us to be more responsible with our talents. The Sun energy is about the talents and our friendships and how we share our talents and how we shine our light. This is very, very, very powerful energy of you really, have you been authentic enough to follow your passions? To take a risk on your passions? Saturn here is making us really question these things and get serious about it. And Mercury is like, okay, well, let's think about a plan. Let's make a plan. Let's make a plan happening. What is it that we want? What is it that we want? But right now, because Mercury is somewhat combust, it's been a little bit difficult for Mercury to really see clearly and understand clearly what it wants, how to go about this. Talking to your friends, talking to somebody who you admire or who you trust or counsel, this could be a fantastic thing to do at this time. It could bring you lots of clarity, but nonetheless, sit with yourself, maybe journal a little bit and allow yourself to visualize for a little bit so the ideas can come. At the same time, this moon is completing a cycle in our lives when it comes to our talents and the way we shine our light. So thus far, this is the way that you have allowed your creative flow to really flow. Thus far, this is the way that you have, shine your light. And we all shine our lights in different ways. We all have different talents. We all have our special thing. We all have that thing that makes us so special. And so this energy is like, do you feel special or do you bring yourself down? Like, have you been following your passions or do you feel like, no, I can't really follow my passions? Like, it's like this back and forth. It's like, have you really gone forward with your passions and what you truly love? Or have you been, dimming your own light for the sake of others, or dimming your own light because you're shy or because you don't believe? All of these things are coming to some sort of, conclusion at this time. So don't criticize yourself if you have not been living so fully authentically. Don't criticize yourself if you have not, you know, kept up with your talents and your in the creative pursuits that you have, or the sports. If you were into sports, you could have also, you know, it's a matter of creative expression. So we can create it, express ourselves creatively either through artistic pursuits or through athletics or through children or through anything that makes us passionate, our own personal passions. Life is telling us to get more serious about these things and to really reassess, like, what is it that is not allowing you to really go towards your passions? What is constricting you, dimming you? Are you not taking your talent seriously? Do you think that you're not good enough? Do you think that your talent is not good enough? Do you think that even though you love doing it, have you been taking your passions seriously? And this is where Saturn is really putting a heavy load on the moon energy. Now, we are also having an aspect of this moon from Jupiter and from Mars. So it is going to, again, make us feel a little bit irritable. We may feel a little bit irritable and upset with ourselves or upset with a situation where we haven't been fully authentic, or where we have not truly allowed ourselves to shine, where we have dimmed ourselves, or where we have allowed other people to, you know, shadow us. So here, Mars is really trying to propel us into changing these things, into get to work and change these things, like get assertive and change these things. And it might bring a little bit of an anger, a little bit of anger, a little bit of upsetness, a little bit of irritability. So be patient with yourself in the process. The good thing is that Jupiter, again, is also aspecting this. Jupiter saying, you know, don't allow for you to think that this is something selfish. If you decide to follow your passions, if you decide to believe, if you decide to be more authentic, if you decide to maybe close cycles with friends and go into something, you know, a new cycle, like don't be afraid of these things. Don't upset yourself. But what is Jupiter really saying is, like, this is a matter of self-love. When you go towards your passions, you're expressing self-love. You're expressing your ability to have self-love for yourself. And going towards your talents is going to bring you happiness and is going to define your identity and your character. So Jupiter here is really rooting for our independence, really rooting for our autonomy, and to, you know, trailblaze our own trail of, even if you're different from everybody, even if nobody else does what you do. But life is really trying to help us say, time for self-love, time for you to do this just because is who you are and is what makes you who you are, and is what you love doing, and is what brings you independence, and is what brings you autonomy, and is what sets yourself apart from everybody else. So something here is really trying to heal something deep. If you have been struggling with, you know, going towards your passions, taking a risk on yourself, you know, opening that enterprise, taking that risk, doing that speculative business, going for that creative pursuit, deciding to have children, maybe go back to school, or anything where it takes risk and it's pulling towards your heart's desires. Life here is saying, time to take this seriously, time to move, time to go towards it. Don't let your mind and your ego think that, oh, it's too late, or you're not good enough, you're not talented enough, or it's like you don't have what you need, like you don't have what it takes. Like, you know, if you start standing out, people are gonna hate you. If you start standing out, people are gonna be envious. Like, just these things that it's just, no, allow yourself to shine. This full moon is really trying to bring immense healing if you've been struggling with allowing yourself to shine in all its ways. So that's some of the very powerful energies that are happening with this full moon, guys. And I highly suggest that you take advantage of this energy, especially if you've been feeling creative blocks, if you've been feeling like, okay, I want to have a child, but I haven't been able to get a child, or I've been wanting to pursue this talent, or I've been wanting to pursue this passion, or I've been wanting to express myself more, or like shine more, or allow myself to be seen, allow myself to take up space. It's this energy of self dignity, like a sense of dignity within yourself, because Leo is a very royal energy. So at the end of the day, is like, do you feel this royalness of almost self respect, just at least because Krishna's in your heart, because God is residing within you? It's a matter of elevating yourself to a standard of kingship. You are divine, you're a divine being, and thus magnificent. So it's like, it's going to be different for everybody. Some of us may be too egotistical and too prideful, and this full moon is like subsiding that, making you a little bit more humble. And others of you is like, it's time to shine. It's time to shine. It's time to get out there. So this is some very, very beautiful energy. Very excited for this full moon that is about to happen for all of us. Now, let's talk a little bit about the nakshatra that this full moon falls in. And the nakshatra that it falls in is called Magha. Magha Nakshatra runs from 0 degrees Leo to 13 degrees Leo, and it is ruled by Ketu. The deity is the Pritis, which is actually the ancestors. This is a fierce, active, and aggressive nakshatra, right in the heart of the lion, right in the heart of Leo. We have this Magha Nakshatra, and it's about the power to leave the body. It's very strongly related with our ancestry. So because it is ruled by Ketu, Ketu being the energy of the past, Ketu being what we are renouncing, this makes it for a very intense combination. Because we have Ketu, we also have the energy of the sun, because Leo is ruled by the sun, and we also have the energy of the moon herself, because the moon because the moon is the full moon. So we have this full moon, we have the sun energy, and we have the Ketu energy all at once. And this is an immense purification of the solar and lunar energies within us. And the solar energies, it is our divine masculine within us, the light that shines within us. And the divine and the moon energy, the lunar energy within us, is the divine mother, that divine soothing energy, and the divine feminine energy within us. So these two aspects, these two energies of the sun and the moon, are going to be transiting and being activated at its fullest with the energy of Ketu, making it a sort of purification that is happening at this time. Why? Because Ketu is the energy of the renunciate. Ketu is the one that carries all the past life thread, but at the same time is helping to renounce the energies of the past. And so with this very strong renunciate energy of Ketu, this is about dissolving. Ketu dissolves. Ketu, how like the monks in Buddhist monks, they create these beautiful mandalas with sand colored, and then at the end they blow it. That's very Ketu. That at the end you just blow it, you let it go, you release it, you not abandon it, but you renounce it. You're not attached to it. So this is that very strong energy that is bringing immense purification to our lunar and solar energies. Excuse me. It also has the symbol of Magha is the throne, the majestic throne of the king. This is actually where the king is the most active, in this energy of Leo. And actually, this Magha Nakshatra teaches us how to win over our enemies, how to win and destroy our adversaries. And this is something that definitely the energy of a king has. The king has to protect the citizens in his country from any adverse energies, any demonic energies, any energy that is trying to destroy it. And the way that it does it is by the energy of this Magha. So Magha teaches us that our ancestry, because it is tied up to Ketu, the ancestry that comes in to our lives, we inherited it. We inherited from our ancestors. The power that we have, we inherited from our ancestors. And you can look into yourself and you will have different types of power. Maybe your parents taught you how to be a leader. Maybe your parents are very leadership oriented, or maybe your parents played music and now you play music, or your parents were um, priests and now you're also into theology. Like, it's kind of like this inherited thing that we have. And even though we can become rebellious towards our inheritances, or maybe we are carrying these ancestral wounds, nonetheless they're there. We always have those ancestral things. It can happen to us where we're like, oh my God, I always fought with my mother, but now that I'm older, I'm acting like my mother. Things like this happen all the time because it is our ancestry. It is the inherited power that our ancestors have passed on to us from karmas, from natures, and from habits, and from ways of being, cultures, and things like this. This is how it lives on. So with the K2 energy, it is about, first and foremost, recognizing the powers that our ancestors have given, the powers that lie within us that have been inherited just because we're alive. And second, how are we using that power? Are we really exercising that power? Are we really exercising it in the right ways so that we're able to destroy our enemies? And how can we destroy our enemies? If you become close to the authority figures, to the highest authority figures. So, when you have, it kind of gives you that leverage. So if you're friends with, I don't know, the president of the United States, you might have some leverage on something, like if you have this network of this, and that's where the sun is in Aquarius. It's like the people that if you relate or become more of a relationship with those who are in power, then you are going to have a higher leverage of authority. Now, we can go into higher authorities. We can say, yes, the powers that these material people have here in the world. But what is the highest power of them all? It is the power of God. So when you are close to righteousness, to God, to the truth, this immediately demolishes all your enemies and your adversaries. It is by intimidating them because you are walking with God, because you are walking with the truth, because you are walking with the mightiest of them all. And so the greatest and most powerful relationship that you could ever have, that can make you wear a badge of don't mess with me, is that you are a person of God. It's kind of like a nun, it's like a nun gets respected, or a monk gets respected wherever he goes. Like, nobody is going to try, like thieves are not going to try to steal from a monk or from somebody who's a saint, because this has higher repercussions because they're walking with the highest of them all. So this is that energy of Magha that is encouraging us to get into relationships with those of better power, of higher authority. Also to have a deeper relationship with the highest authority of them all, which is God. And as you walk with God, like, you will feel powerful. You will feel like there is nothing for you to fear. It is also about what are the talents that you have inherited, the talents that your family has brought down to you. This could be the ancestral wounds, just as the ancestral gifts, and receiving these with grace and taking them into your heart. And it's like, are you really living them? Are you really living your gifts? Are you really living what your ancestors have given you? Remember, you are the ecstasy of your ancestors. So are you really truly living and using your gifts? And if you're not, then this is the perfect moon for you to cleanse that. Especially because if K2, which is the energy that rules this moon, is in Virgo, so this, with the energy of Virgo Hasta, here K2, what is trying to help us to do is that we need to release a pattern, daily pattern. And it is through repetition and trying and repeating and doing it again that we're going to be able to shift a pattern, to shift a way of being. So if this way of being has kept you small, not allowing you to shine, not allowing you to really show your magnitude to the world and your talents, it's like, what are those habitual patterns that are impeding you from doing it? It could be mental thoughts. It could be ways of thinking. It could be ways of treating yourself. It could be ways of how you talk to yourself. And so with Ketu and Hasta ruling this moon is helping us to try it again, to do it once again. Like if you have not been exercising your power in the best ways possible or your talents, then this could be the time to demolish that and allow yourself to create it in a new way. But allow yourself to take the trial and error. Okay, it's going to take time. It's going to take trying it. And this could be as easy as maybe changing the way that you think, or maybe starting a journal, or maybe starting visualization, or starting meditation. This could allow for the pattern, practical pattern to really take forward. Now, this moon is all about, are you really living your passions? Are you dimming your light? And are you, is it because you're not feeling powerful? And if you're not feeling powerful, are you close to the mightiest of them all so that you can demolish all your adversaries? So this is a moon that is trying to empower our light, empower our royalness, our authority. As being in the throne of the king, Magha is about sitting in the throne of the king that your ancestors have left for you. This is the energy of status, ancestors, ambitions, pride, vanity, and royalty. And it is the star of power, guys. I mean, this is such a powerful energy. It is the star of power. And it is bringing us the ability to release anything that is not allowing us for us to step into that kingdom, into that seat. And it's already in you because you've inherited. So it's a matter of just embodying this and not questioning it. So this full moon is bringing us the ability to really allow ourselves to shine to the next level, to really bring our talents back into the forefront, to really start taking ourselves more seriously and the passions that we have within us, and to allow ourselves to shine our light even more. Wherever it is that you are, give yourself thanks, thank the world, and allow yourself to get closer and closer to the divine. And this way, you will demolish all your obstacles and issues and problems that come up, that are your adversaries, that are not allowing you to truly exercise your power. So this is an empowering nakshatra. Now, for the remedies of this nakshatra, I highly suggest that you do a little ritual where you're going to take a bath on this full moon. And I want you to write down in a journal, in a piece of paper, what are your inherited talents that you can feel that it comes from your ancestors, that it just comes so natural to you, so innately to you. And I want you to write down if you have been exercising these powers correctly, if you've been taking them for granted, or if you're really following your heart. Then I want you to write, are you surrounded by the right people who allow you to shine? And then I want you to write, how would it be if you were to follow your passions, if you were to follow what makes your heart sing? Then after writing all these things down, you're going to turn on a candle and then turn on a sage or an incense. You're going to sit down and you're going to stay focused for a quiet meditation. You're going to be chanting for 108 times the beach mantra of this Magha Nakshatra, which is Om Gam, Om Nagam. Better, you can either pronounce it O Gam or Nagam. Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam. You'll pronounce it in that way. And preferably that you do it 108 times in order for you to have the strongest ability. Think and pray on this, on you gaining more faith in yourself. Pray that the mercy of God comes into your life so that you're able to follow your passions happily. Pray to be close to this authority always so that no adversary can come to you and you can have that very strong faith within yourself. And pray that you are ready to shine your light. And as you shine your light in the right places, you will be able to help others shine as well. So this is an empowering full moon, guys. And I really hope that you guys are able to have a wonderful full moon. Thank you so much for being here. And if you would like to have a personal reading with me, check out in the description here below and we can have a personal reading together. Thank you so much, guys, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful full moon in Magha.